After the company went public, I received a dividend of $60 million and achieved financial freedom. With excitement and joy, I decided to give my family a surprise. When I got home, I joked with my parents that I was laid off by the company and planned to move back to my hometown to live off them. To my surprise, on that very day, my parents transferred all the real estate to my younger brother and said they were going to live in his house, asking me to rent a place to live. Right after that, my girlfriend also came to break up with me. Facing all this sudden change, I smiled and readily agreed to their requests, deciding to temporarily hide the matter of the $60 million. Start of the text. Like and remember to subscribe. Mom and Dad, I came back suddenly because I was laid off by the company. How about you support me for a while? Looking at the stunned expressions on my parents' faces, I was just about to laugh and say, I'm joking. I scared you, but then I saw my dad pull my mom, and then the two of them forced a smile at me. It's okay. It's no problem to take a rest. Son, go back to your room and have a rest. Your mom and I have something to do and we'll go out later. Then, they hurried back to the bedroom. Worried that they were really worried about me, I was just about to knock on the door to explain when I heard my dad say in the bedroom, James has lost his job and is lying at home. Is he thinking about living off us? That won't do, dear. While he doesn't know how much family property we have, let's quickly give all the money and real estate at home to his younger brother to save him from coveting it. My mom's voice was a bit hesitant. All the real estate? But there's a house that's in our name, but it's the wedding house that James prepared for himself. Is it okay to do this? My dad said anxiously, if it's in our name, it's ours. He has a proper job in the big city and he's the eldest. What's wrong with thinking about his younger brother? He can just work hard to earn money to buy a wedding house. Partial to what? We're his parents. We raised him. Besides, he's unemployed now. Giving it to his younger brother is like helping him save it. Otherwise, what if he's lazy and doesn't go to work and squanders it all? My mom thought about it and finally nodded. Okay, then I'll also tell David to not talk nonsense. Leaning against the door, I laughed at myself and went back to my room. I knew that since childhood, my parents had liked my younger brother David more. Because I grew up with my grandma, while David grew up with my parents. Since I was a child, my parents had told me, you're the eldest. An elder brother is like a father. You have to give in to your younger brother whether you're right or wrong. We work hard to earn money. We have no choice but to leave you in our hometown. Now your school status is there. It's not good for your studies to transfer it. You stay in our hometown. We have to take care of your younger brother. I understood the difficulties of my parents and didn't spend their money after my freshman year of college. I even worked part-time to pay my younger brother's tuition. After graduation, I worked hard for almost 8 years and finally bought a 2-bedroom, 1 living room house in my hometown, planning to use it as a wedding house when I got married to my girlfriend. But my younger brother said not to waste my first home purchase eligibility and asked me to write my parents' names on it. He also said that maybe there would be a chance to buy one in New York in the future. Thinking they were all my family members, I didn't care and agreed. Who would have thought that they had started to scheme against me back then? This time I came back, I wanted to give them a surprise. The company I invested in went public, and the dividend was more than $60 million, and there would be dividends every year after that. I achieved financial freedom. I was thinking about going home to discuss with my parents about buying a villa, giving my younger brother a few shops and buying a car for him, leaving a few million for each of them for retirement, and taking the whole family on a trip. How wonderful it would be. So, originally I just wanted to play a joke, first saying that I would live off them to scare them, and then tell them that our family had become prosperous. Unexpectedly, it was me who was shocked. However, although I was very surprised to hear what my parents said, I believed that David wouldn't act like this. I had given him all the good things first since I was a child. He was basically raised by me, and our relationship was so good. He definitely wouldn't agree with our parents' selfish behavior. Not long after, my parents said to me with concern, "Son, it's okay. You've been working hard for so many years. Now that you're home, have a good rest. Your dad and I are going out to do something. If you want to eat something tonight, you can send a WeChat message to Mom." If I hadn't heard their previous conversation, I really wouldn't have thought that such caring parents would be scheming against me everywhere. Just then, my mom's phone rang, and I heard my younger brother's voice on the other end. "Mom, what's the rush? Why do you want me to go to the real estate bureau?" I only heard my mom hurriedly take the phone and walk to the side, saying, "Just go if I tell you to." My dad stepped aside to block me and smiled at me, saying, "You have a rest first. We're leaving." I smiled and didn't say anything. Then, without them noticing, I quietly followed them. Sure enough, I saw them stop my younger brother on the side of the road. I secretly walked to the corner to eavesdrop and saw that they told my younger brother the same things again. After hearing this, my younger brother frowned tightly and said, "Mom and Dad, this won't do. How can you treat big brother like this?" My mom quickly pulled my younger brother's sleeve and said, "Oh, David, your brother doesn't work now and will lie at home. Who knows how long he will rest? What if he spends all his savings and then asks us to pay to support him? What will you use to buy a house and marry a wife in the future?" My dad nodded and said, "That's right. There are so many young people living off their parents these days. We have to be careful. And what's wrong with this? It's our stuff. The house is also in our name. We can give it to whoever we want. It's better to give it to you than let him waste it." My mom spoke again to persuade him, "Your brother can make money in New York. When he knows that there's nothing left at home, he'll go back and start working hard again in a few days. We don't need to worry." My younger brother still looked hesitant. "But big brother's girlfriend. We've met her. Didn't they say they were going to get married? At least his house should be used as a wedding house. Is it okay for you to transfer it to me?" "Oh, the wedding house and such. Now that your brother has lost his job, no woman would want to be with him. You're different. If you have no money and no house in the village, wouldn't it be even harder to find a wife and live a life? But what if big brother finds out?" My dad paused and then snorted coldly. "So what if he finds out? After all, we're his parents. Over the years, your brother has been very filial to us and obeys us. It's natural for children to be filial to their parents. Your brother will understand our good intentions when he finds out and won't blame us. This is also to urge him to develop well." My mom also said, "That's right. How can young people rest? Your brother doesn't think about how hard we worked outside because of his schooling. If he finds out, so what? Can he quarrel with us? Then he would be an ungrateful person." Speaking of this, my dad became even angrier. "Really, if it weren't for your grandpa forcing me back then, your brother should have dropped out of school long ago. What's the use of rural children going to so much school? For boys, who doesn't go out to work and earn money in their teens? If it weren't for your grandpa's bad temper, maybe your brother would have become prosperous long ago. Yes, rural children should be independent early. Oh, those years we were so tired outside." My mom looked at the time and quickly said, "David, let's go. Hurry up and transfer the house. Don't say anything stupid when you come back and see your brother." I watched my younger brother's lips open and close silently, and finally he nodded and said, "Okay, I see. But this is your idea. My brother may just come back to rest. If he makes money in New York in the future, I'm still waiting for him to buy me a car. Don't let him hold a grudge against me." "Oh, need you say that? We've already thought about it." I watched this family walk away laughing happily. Leaning against the wall, I covered my eyes with one hand and slowly laughed bitterly. The moment I got the money, my first thought was to go home and tell them that we could live a good life. I wanted to share this happiness with them. I thought we were a family. But what about them? They had never regarded me as a family member. Only David was the child of the family. What was I? I was just a tool for them to suck blood. When there was nothing wrong, they would say a few nice words to coax me, and everything would be fine. Since high school, I haven't spent a penny of my family's money. I went to school during the day and worked as a waiter at night for fear that they would be under too much pressure and too tired. I wore the shabby clothes and ill-fitting shoes given by others every day, while David couldn't even wear out all his new clothes. They asked me to understand, saying that David grew up in the city and was used to extravagance, and that as the elder brother, I should give in to him and spoil him. I listened and did as they said. I thought that as the elder brother, I should be sensible. So my parents didn't care about me because I was independent enough. Who would have thought that they simply didn't want to waste time on me? Originally, I said that resigning and living off my parents was just a joke, but this joke made me recognize the reality that I had been reluctant to admit for many years. However, it's not too late to recognize it now. At least the money is still in my hands. In the evening, the whole family was sitting at the dinner table, and they were exchanging glances. Then my mom spoke first. James, you've worked hard outside for so many years. I know you came home to rest, but the situation at home is really bad. I lowered my eyes and ate without saying anything. At this moment, my dad coughed and also said, we did some business before, but unexpectedly, we lost all the money. The house, someone is also going to take it away. James, your mom and I have no money left. We can only live in the house your younger brother rented. But after all, that place is too small. Look, you move out this week and find a place to live by yourself. They originally thought that I would be surprised and ask detailed questions, and they were all ready to explain to me in detail. But unexpectedly, I just said okay and said, I see. I'll pack up and move out. I didn't care how they wanted to deceive me. After all, I didn't care anymore. Just like I wouldn't tell them that I got a dividend of $60 million. These 2 days, just as I finished packing my things and was about to leave, unexpectedly, my girlfriend ran to my hometown to look for me. My parents were also packing up things at home these 2 days. They were very surprised to see my girlfriend come to the door. Sophia is here. The things at home are a bit messy. Please sit down for a while. Sophia nodded and looked at the room, covering her nose with a bit of disgust. Seeing that my parents were there, I couldn't tell her in detail what had happened. I asked curiously, Sophia, why did you come here suddenly? You said yesterday that you had something to talk to me about. Didn't I tell you that I would go back in a couple of days? Why didn't you ask me to pick you up when you came? Are you tired? Before I could finish speaking, Sophia gently interrupted me, James, I'm in a hurry. Can you talk to me outside? Then Sophia glanced at my parents. I understood immediately, so I directly pulled Sophia into my room and closed the door. Sophia, let me pour you a glass of water. Let's break up. Hearing this sentence, I was stunned and turned around in disbelief, saying, Sophia, why is it so sudden? I have good news to tell you. I said, let's break up. Sophia's tone was firm. I took a deep breath and sat next to Sophia, feeling a bit powerless. I met Sophia through a friend. She, like me, was from out of town and came to New York to work hard. With our conditions, it's too difficult to stay in New York. So we originally planned to work hard for a few years and then settle down in a small city. Originally, in another year or two, when we had enough money, we were going to get married. Although I knew her mother didn't like me, I didn't expect that she would bring up the topic of breaking up so suddenly. I was just about to tell her about my financial freedom when Sophia said impatiently, James, you're really incompetent. You've worked in New York for so many years and can't even buy a house. The words I was about to say were blocked by her. Sophia, no, it's not that I'm incompetent. A house in New York costs $20 million. How can an ordinary worker afford it? Sophia, you're also from out of town and working hard in New York. You should understand. Sophia sneered. Don't make excuses for your incompetence. Well, I don't want to waste any more words on you. I came here just to break up with you completely. I won't beat around the bush. James, my mom found me a partner. I feel he's quite suitable. He's a native of New York, and I'm going to marry him. Marry him? Thinking about Sophia always making excuses of working overtime before, I seemed to realize something and couldn't help but laugh bitterly. Sophia, is it just because of money? What if I have money? What if I also have money? Sophia turned to look at me and remained silent. Looking directly into Sophia's eyes at this moment, I realized that she was no longer the girl she used to be. There was no longer any love in her eyes when she looked at me, only boredom and impatience. James, be realistic. Your love is really cheap compared to money. It's nothing. And even if you have money, how much can you have? You can't afford a house in New York in your life. There's no difference between you and those migrant workers. James, don't blame me. Blame yourself. One should be realistic. Listening to her say these words one by one, I really felt that my life was like a ridiculous farce. I slowly grinned and said, okay, break up, as you wish. I hope you never regret it. Wish you happiness. Sophia looked at me and sighed softly, saying, James, I will be happy. Don't say angry words. Be more realistic in the future. Don't believe whatever others say. Originally, I heard that you had a good job and thought you had a chance to stay in New York. I was naive. Your monthly salary is not enough even if you work to death. But I don't owe you anything. Although you were good to me, after all, I have accompanied you for a long time. I lowered my head and didn't say anything more to her. Seeing this, Sophia left directly. At this moment, I suddenly felt that maybe it wasn't me who was unfortunate, but them. Now I had everything they wanted, but these people showed their true colors when everything was within reach. God also knew that they didn't deserve all this. My parents saw that Sophia left without even saying hello and their faces instantly turned ugly. What kind of person is she? She has no manners at all. She doesn't even cook us a meal. She acts as if she didn't see us. James, such a woman can't be married. Do you hear me? Marrying her would be a misfortune to the family. Can't marry her. We broke up. I said coldly. My parents looked at each other when they heard what I said. Ah, look at you. Women dislike you when you're out of work. Well, you should go back to New York and find a job as soon as possible. We still need to retire in the future. Your younger brother also wants a car. If you don't work hard to go back and struggle, do you want us to live a hard life in our old age? I didn't want to say anything more to them and directly nodded, saying, I'll go back to New York after packing my luggage. My parents saw this and nodded happily. That's right. What are you doing staying in your hometown when you're young? It's good to go out. It's good to go out. Hearing this, I almost sneered. They didn't say that to my younger brother back then. At that time, they said, what are you going out for? Stay at home. We'll work and prepare a car and a house for you. Your elder brother will also give you money every month, right? And I really gave him a lot of money every month, more or less. Thinking of this, I coldly curled my lips and said, don't worry. If you can get a penny from me in the future, I'm not a human being. After returning to New York, I handed over all the company's affairs and directly resigned. The company wanted to keep me, so they proposed to sign a part-time agreement with me, asking me to help out occasionally, and I agreed. A group of us who had achieved financial freedom had a lively meal together. Then, since we felt there was nothing much to do while being idle, someone suggested starting a company and doing some small business. After all, we could afford to lose money. I didn't mind either, so I agreed to invest. That day, I had a really good chat with them. However, when I got home, I found that my house had been robbed. The entire room was emptied, and not even the curtains were left. I instantly sobered up and called the police directly. Soon, through the property management's surveillance video, the police found out that Sophia had emptied everything, not even leaving a thermos. I was so angry that I almost laughed. I directly asked the landlord to handle the matter by reporting it to the police. The next day, I was sleeping in the hotel when Sophia called me like crazy. I picked up the phone in a daze and said, "Who is it?" "James, are you crazy for money? How could you call the police?" Her shrill scream made me frown. I moved the phone away a bit, looked at the screen, and sneered. "Sophia, I wonder if you have a brain. These things belong to the landlord. You stole them just like that, and you don't allow me to call the police?" Sophia roared like a mad person on the other end. "What landlords? They're all mine. I made a list for you, and you bought and replaced them. I broke up with you. What's wrong with me taking my things? Why did you call the police? Cancel it right away, or I won't let you go." I was speechless at her way of thinking. I said slowly, "Oh, then go tell the police uncle. Let's see if the police uncle recognizes your idiotic statement." I sneered, directly blocked her, and then deleted all the content related to Sophia. These days, I went to the hospital for a full body check-up and found several polyps in my intestine. Looking at the examination report, I suddenly had an idea. A month later, I directly went to the house my younger brother rented. My parents, because they still wanted me to pay for a car, were actually living in the small shabby house my younger brother rented. They really could endure it. After I went there, I started crying without saying anything else. "Mom and Dad, I'm sick. That's why the company fired me. I was afraid you'd worry, so I didn't tell you the truth." The muscles on my parents' faces suddenly twitched uncontrollably, and then they forced a dry laugh and said, "James, don't joke around. You look so healthy." With a sad expression, I choked and said in a low voice, I was diagnosed with intestinal cancer during this year's physical examination. But it's not in the advanced stage yet. Fortunately, it was discovered in time. Mom and Dad, I know there isn't much money at home now, and you've had a hard time. But, didn't I have a house before? It's worth more than $300,000. The doctor said that with more than $300,000, my condition can be controlled. After that, I looked at them with full expectation. Mom and Dad, consider it a loan from me. Doesn't my younger brother have a job? He must have some savings. Save me, please save me. My dad panicked when he heard this and stammered, we don't have the money. Your younger brother. Let's think, James. Don't worry. Don't worry. Mom and Dad will definitely help you. They asked me to sit on the sofa and wait for a while, then said they needed to calculate how much money they had. I watched them enter the room, sneered, and walked to the balcony window to listen quietly. Sure enough, the two of them started calculating. My mom said, what did James say? Cancer. It's cancer. His house is still there, but he has no job and has cancer. My God, even if we give him the house, it's not enough. My dad replied in a low voice, we can't give it to him. How can cancer be cured? It would be a waste. Moreover, if James has cancer, his body will gradually deteriorate, and the whole family will be dragged down by him. My mom slowly started crying and said, what should we do then? If we don't give it to him, what if this child clings to us? How about taking him to see a traditional Chinese doctor? My dad sighed and said, what's the use of seeing a traditional Chinese doctor? It's not necessary. Think of a way. Can we deceive him into going to another place and let him fend for himself? Don't let him drag the family down. This is the best way. Hearing this last sentence, my heart completely turned cold. My mom was silent for a moment, then choked and said, alas, there's no better way. Just like your dad, he broke his leg a few months ago. It would cost a lot of money to go to the hospital. We just had him treated casually in the village. As long as he can survive, that's it. But James has cancer. How much money will that cost? My dad said coldly, don't mention my dad. It makes me annoyed. He keeps calling me to harass me when there's nothing going on in the village. Don't care about it. Why should we care? He's so old. If he dies, that's it. Okay, while he's still in good health now, figure out where we can send him and don't let him drag us down. Hearing this, I was shocked. Grandpa was sick, and not only did they not tell me, but they actually left him alone in the village. What kind of people were they? How could they do such a thing? I was so angry that my whole body was shaking. This matter had to be resolved immediately. In the evening, my younger brother also came back. They didn't expect me to be eavesdropping. They pulled my younger brother into the master bedroom and told him everything about me. My younger brother said, my brother seems to be in good condition. He didn't seem seriously ill when he got up in the morning. My dad said, hey, this isn't the time to talk about his illness. Hurry up and think of a way to send your brother to another place. Don't let him come back and drag us down. At this moment, my dad seemed to suddenly remember something and said to my younger brother, David, didn't you say there are those tour groups that go to northern Myanmar? People basically can't come back after going there. My younger brother hesitated for a moment and said, there are such groups. They go under the guise of working, but basically, once you go, it's over. But my brother has cancer. He can really drag people down to death. Instantly, the three people in the room fell silent. Finally, my dad said, that's it then. Just say we want him to go and relax. We'll find such a channel and sign him up for one. My mom and my younger brother didn't say anything more. I listened quietly as they planned how to deceive me and how to let me die alone outside. Fortunately, I had already been completely disappointed in them. I directly sent a WeChat message on my phone, tomorrow, everything will be solved tomorrow. Early the next morning, they started acting in front of me. First, my younger brother said, brother, I'm sorry. Give us some time. We'll try to borrow some money first. There really isn't much money at home now. Alas, it's all our fault for being useless. Then, my dad said, James, blame me. If it weren't for my foolish efforts to save more money for you and David, I wouldn't have lost all the money at home. Blame me. Finally, my mom also said, James, don't worry. We will definitely not ignore you. Your dad and I want to sign you up for a tour group so that you can relax. When you come back, we'll take you to see a doctor. I didn't say anything. At this time, there was a commotion at the door. James, get out. Don't think you can get away with running to the countryside just because you owe money. We can find you anywhere. Then, there was a violent kicking sound on the door, which scared my parents and younger brother. My younger brother looked at me in horror and asked, brother, do you owe money? He went to open the door tremblingly, probably afraid that if the door was kicked they would have to pay the landlord for it. Several burly men walked in and said, James, you lost your job and got sick. If we couldn't find you today, who would we ask for the debt when you die? Seeing that I didn't say anything, my parents shouted like crazy, "We're going to call the police." Who are you? What kind of hooligans are you? The burly man squeezed his wrist and said viciously with a sneer, "Call the police then. James owes me $1 million in total. The police will have to admit it when they come." This number instantly made their legs go weak. They pointed at my nose and started cursing. "How could you owe so much money? Do you want us to die?" I said in a low voice, "I just spent some money on buying a house before and also spent some on my girlfriend." My dad was so angry that he wanted to hit me. The burly man directly protected me and said, "I know he's sick. If he dies, and you blame it on us, you're dreaming." I've inquired. "He has a house. You take it out to pay off the debt." My dad looked at the four big guys, and the room could barely hold them. He was so scared that he couldn't speak clearly. "We don't have the money." The big guy sneered and said, "Okay, then sign this." As he spoke, he put a severance of parent-child relationship certificate in front of them. "Sign this, and we'll take your son away. As for whether he lives or dies in the future, don't care about it." Having said this, he sneered, "I'll figure out how to get the money back from him myself." My parents and younger brother, upon hearing this, immediately signed their names at an extremely fast speed. Judging from their expressions, it seemed like they thought this was a good thing. After they signed, they immediately handed the certificate to the leader. "Take him away. We have nothing to do with him, nothing at all." The burly man gritted his teeth and said viciously, "I've never seen such people like you." Fine, I'll take him away." I didn't look back and left with them in big steps. After getting in the car, the burly man said angrily, "Brother, your family is really despicable. It's good that the relationship is broken. It's better to break it completely." I was very grateful and shook hands with several friends who came to help. Then I gave each of them a 2,000 yuan tip for their hard work. They kept waving their hands and finally accepted it under my insistence. I was extremely anxious. I took the certificate and put it away, then directly went to my grandpa's house. Grandpa looked haggard. When he saw me, he quickly got up and said, "James, why are you here? Is work hard?" As he spoke, he wanted to get out of bed. I held back my tears. Seeing that Grandpa's leg injury was unattended and he was alone at home, I didn't say anything and directly took Grandpa back to New York and found the best hospital for him to see a doctor. Fortunately, Grandpa just didn't have his injury treated in time after falling. As long as he has a good rest and care, he will recover soon. I directly bought a house in New York for Grandpa's convenience in seeing a doctor. The company that my friends and I started actually got investment and was developing more and more smoothly. After that, I also casually invested in several small projects that I was optimistic about. Unexpectedly, they all made a profit. Just like that, I quickly bought a villa in New York and also settled here through the talent introduction policy. I didn't want to hide the fact that I took Grandpa away, nor could I hide it. After Grandpa's health improved, more and more people started asking him about it. I didn't stop them and didn't care. I knew someone would come to me sooner or later, but I didn't expect the first one to come to me to be my ex-girlfriend Sophia. She learned from our mutual friends that I had achieved financial freedom, and then she often changed her phone number to harass me. "James, I was already angry that you went back to your hometown without telling me. Why haven't you contacted me for so long?" I said helplessly, "Sophia, you broke up with me. Don't pretend to have amnesia." Sophia paused for a moment, then said coquettishly, "We didn't break up. I was just being petty." I almost laughed at her. "Are you crazy? Petty? Don't you have a boyfriend in New York? Don't come to harass me." After that, I hung up the phone. Sophia immediately became anxious. "No, James, I didn't find anyone else. I recently found out that I still love you the most. Please forgive me." "Stop it. Please don't. I won't please you like before. I was really stupid before. I originally wanted to tell you that I had money and got a dividend of more than 60 million. But you didn't want to listen. You just wanted to break up with me. I originally wanted to buy you a house and a car so that you wouldn't have to work hard in the future. But you didn't want to live such a life. Now what are you coming back to pester me for?" Hearing this, Sophia burst into tears. "James, I was wrong. I was really wrong. That man, he gambles and beats me. James, please save me, save me." "You deserve it. A scumbag matches a slut. You two deserve to be together for a lifetime. A few days later, Sophia's mom actually called me. James, it's all my fault. Blame me. It was me who forced Sophia to be with that man. Please forgive Sophia. I replied indifferently, Auntie, I remember when I visited your house back then, you didn't say that. You said I was from a small place and not worthy of your Sophia. You even threw out the gifts I prepared. I still remember what your house looked like at that time. You said that if I couldn't save up 2 million, I wasn't allowed to come to propose marriage. Now that I have everything, it was Sophia who broke up with me in person. What does this mean? It means your family doesn't have this fortune. If that man treats Sophia badly, just break up. Why come to harass me? Sophia's mom paused on the other end of the phone, then said painfully, but where else can Sophia find a suitable rich man? James. I quickly interrupted her, Auntie, I'm sorry. I'm also a rich man now. So, I don't fancy your Sophia either. Goodbye. After that, I quickly blocked her. She really affected my mood. One day, Grandpa and I were growing vegetables in the villa. To be honest, I didn't like growing vegetables before, but now I feel that growing vegetables seems to be something that Chinese people are born to love. At this time, Grandpa went into the house to get something, and my parents and younger brother suddenly came to the door. My younger brother spoke first, and as soon as he opened his mouth, he started accusing me, Brother, is it interesting for you to deceive us? We're a family, and you still play tricks. Look at you, you have a villa in New York, and you don't even invite me and Mom and Dad in to sit. Look at how anxious you've made Mom and Dad. They've lost weight. I looked at my younger brother's nonchalant appearance and was really impressed in my heart. I wiped my hands and said, David, have you lost your memory? Didn't you already sever the relationship with me? What, heard that I'm rich and came to suck blood again? David frowned when he heard me speak so bluntly and shouted, James, so what if you're rich? Can't you talk properly? Do you deserve to talk to people properly? My house is also in your name, right? Return my things first, and then we'll talk. As soon as he said this, the three of them were stunned. How do you know? I threw the paper towel I used to wipe my hands at their faces and directly cursed, I knew it from the beginning. I originally just wanted to play a joke on you. Who knew you had no affection for me at all and even wanted to deceive me into going abroad to fend for myself? My dad was a bit for a moment, but then he suddenly straightened his back and cursed, so what if we deceived you? You're our son, and David is your younger brother. It's your duty to support us and spend money on us. I was so angry at their shameless appearance that I laughed, listen to your nonsense. I won't give you a penny anymore. We have no relationship. If you don't leave, I'll call the police. My parents immediately started crying and howling at my door, my God, there's no justice. The eldest son is unfilial. He's rich but won't support us in our old age. He doesn't care about his parents. God will strike him with lightning. Unfilial son. I listened to their crying and howling, blocked my ears, and frowned, who are you two? I don't have parents. The severance of parent-child relationship certificate is still in my hand. Don't you have a son? Well, David, how could you make your parents cry like this? Unfilial son, ungrateful wretch, beast. My dad was so angry when he heard me say this that he wanted to hit me. I grabbed his hand directly. What? You want to hit me? Do you think you're worthy of hitting me? Grandpa fell and got hurt, but you guys ignored him and left him aside. I just made a joke, and you transferred my house to my younger brother right away, just because you were afraid I'd spend your money. When I said I was sick, you even wanted to trick me into going to northern Myanmar. Are you really fit to be parents? Aren't you afraid of retribution? Speaking of this, I laughed. You know, I was just trying to play a joke on you. People do things, and heaven watches. Even God thinks you don't deserve it. At that time, I was planning to buy you a villa, a mansion, a car, and give each of you millions of dollars for your retirement. Hearing the commotion, Grandpa also came out angrily, leaning on his walking stick. You beasts! Come here. I'm your father. Tell me what it means to be filial to parents. James has been relying on himself all these years. What about you? You're selfish and even tried to harm his life. The house he had was worth over $1 million, and giving it to you was already more than you deserved. What are you doing here again? How dare you talk to James about being filial? Come on, show me how you're filial. James spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my medical treatment. Give the money back to James. With that, Grandpa turned around, picked up a flower pot from the flower bed, and threw it at them. Instantly, the three of them were hit and kept retreating. Seeing that Grandpa was about to rush over and beat them, they quickly turned around and ran towards the car. Dad, what are you doing? Grandpa, it's me, David. David, my foot. I'll beat you, you ungrateful wretch. I held Grandpa, telling him not to get too excited and not to hurt himself. Watching them run away, the old man snorted indifferently. I've seen through these people for a long time. I'm not excited. This isn't even as much exercise as when I dance square dance with the neighbors next door. James, don't be afraid. These people just need a good lesson. Come on, let's go back inside. Grandpa will make you your favorite pizza. I smiled and helped Grandpa into the house. I've pretty much sorted out my work matters. Grandpa is getting old, and I decided to take him around to see different places. He worked so hard for me when he was young, and I couldn't always be with him after I started working. Now that I have the time, some people simply aren't worth my time and energy anymore. So, without further ado, I booked the itinerary and started traveling around the beautiful landscapes of our motherland with Grandpa.